Okay, everybody, this is just a quick video to show you just how to use my program. Um, in case the post I did was just too much to look through, I figured I'd make this and kind of explain it step by step. So first off, the executable is called MusicModGen. Um, It's you just double click it and it opens. So once you have it open here, you're just going to want to name your project. I'm just going to name mine test. Next you go to section 2. You'll search. Just go to where you have your music already located. I know mine's on my G drive. I use all my tube to get a few songs. So once you find your directory, you're just going to click OK. This section will be populated with all your songs that are in that directory. If there aren't any if there aren't any audio files in that directory, obviously nothing's going to show up. So anyway, next, since you have all your music here, you have a few different options. You can clear the songs that you don't want on here. So there's a few songs that I just don't want to include in Space Engineers. They just don't want to sound right. So you'd select it and just clear selected track, and it clears it. So I'll go ahead and do that with a few of them. I'm not going to use all of these for my test, but I'm just illustrating how that's done. So once you're satisfied with your selection here, you're just gonna you can either select one at a time, or you can select multiple by clicking this checkbox here. So if say you knew there were a few songs that fit a certain category, like heavy fight, like really fast-paced music, you would select those, match those up to the category in section 4B, and just hit match. As soon as you hit match, they'll go over here in the matched files section, and they'll disappear from here. So if you want to do single ones, you can do that too. You can only select one at a time, but it's gives you a few options to work with. So anyway, I'm just going to work with these 5 here. So I've already matched them. I want to include a thumbnail, so I'll come over here to find thumb. I'm going to navigate to where I know I have some thumbnails, or pictures rather. I'll select one. It doesn't matter if it's JPEG, PNG, GIF, whatever. There are limitations to which format, but I chose to include the more popular ones, like JPEG and PNG and GIF. So once you select one, just open it, and you'll see the text entry populate. If you want to preview the picture, just hover over it. This neat little preview pops up. If you decide you don't want this after previewing it, or you just change your mind, you can always clear it and find another one. But I'll go ahead and use that one. Alright. So far we've named it our mod, we've found our music, and we've matched the ones we want, so we're ready to create this mod. So once I go ahead and create the mod, or hit the button to create the mod, a few things are going to happen. First off, I want to stress that if you do if you are listening to any of the songs that you've matched, you must stop whatever music player you're using to listen to them, because it will screw up the conversion process. It's just a limitation, but I mean, it's a small sacrifice to make a mod in my eyes. So anyway, once you've stopped playing them, if you were, just go ahead and click OK, and you'll notice these boxes pop up. So there's 2 boxes per track. And what it's doing is it's converting the track into a WAV file first, and then it's converting it into a .xwm, which is what Space Engineers uses for sound. So after it's done, our mod's complete. It's created our test mod on the desktop, and inside it's placed a track list with the songs that we chose. It's put our thumbnail in there, renamed it to Thumb. It's created a brand new SPC file specifically for the tracks that we've chosen. And if you ever look at this, you'll notice that they're not in the same order that Space Engineers uses. That's quite alright. It still is able to parse this file and play the music, I promise. Also, since I chose all 5 of those tracks for the same category, they're all going to be in heavy fight. Basically, when it matches it, it does it randomly. So it just, as long as you pick the category, it puts it in a random subdirectory. So our songs are just renamed to the format that Space Engineers uses, and they're placed in the category that was chosen. So that's our mod. It's all created. So in order to use it on Space Engineers, you'll go down to your start. In the search bar, you'll type %app data %, and you should get roaming pop up. You click that, and this is basically where all your program files and stuff like that is. You can press S to skip to the S section, click Space Engineers, go to Mods, and here are my mods. So all you do is you can either click and drag it and to move it to the mods, or you can copy it if you just want to leave a copy on your desktop and go ahead and paste it in here. So there it is. I'll go ahead and stop recording, and I'll come back so I can show you what it looks like in Space Engineers. Okay, I'm back. We're in Space Engineers now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load a world that I already have. I don't feel the need to create a new one. We're going to go to Edit Settings and Mods, so we can enable the mod that we just created called Test. One other thing that I want to stress too is if you do have any other soundtrack replacing mods, you'll want to exclude those from your list, because obviously they're going to interfere, and you won't actually get to enjoy the one you just made. So I actually do have one that I just made a week or so ago. I'm going to go ahead and get that out of my list so we can just have our test mod in there. So we'll just click OK, and we'll load our map up, and when it gets done loading, we should hear our new music, although there are only 5 tracks that we created with the mod. So in case you didn't know, there's a total of about, I think, 86 or 87 tracks in Space Engineers. Not all of them play, but since we only included 5, we may not hear any of the new ones that we put in the mod, which I have the list here. We have the theme from Alien Isolation, and a whole bunch of tracks from Audio Machine, which I think is like the best music for Space Engineers, hands down. But anyway, hopefully we'll hear at least one track so we can at least prove that it's working. I can also open the debugging screen just to show that there aren't any errors with the mod, because when I actually was developing this, I did have a bunch of errors because I created the wrong SBC file. I had it configured improperly, so worked that bug out, and it seems to be working fine now. So we'll just here we go. Alright, so let me see, what button was that? F11. Yeah. Alright, so F11 will bring up your debug. We are using the test mod that I created, and there are no errors for it whatsoever. These are just for older mods that may not have been updated or whatever, but if there were errors for the soundtrack, they would definitely be in this box. I promise that. Yeah, this is all for other stuff though, so it's good. It's just not playing any of the tracks. Like I said, we only added 5, so you know, what do you want? But I promise they're in there. They will play eventually. I mean, that's why you should probably, you know, take advantage of using as many tracks as possible, and you know, use like, you know, at least like 30 or 40. That's what I usually do. So anyway, that's the mod. Sorry I couldn't demonstrate it in the game, but I promise it works. If you were to do this this soundtrack mod manually, I promise you it would take a very long time. That's the reason I wrote the program, in hopes that people could use it, and it would save them hours, literally, and they would be able to listen to their own music. So that's it in a nutshell. I hope everybody enjoys it. If there's any problems, please let me know in the forum, and I will definitely try to address it ASAP. Thank you.